Hi students, this is Saurav, and as in last class we were introduced to data structures. We understood that they are a particular way of storing and organizing the information in an efficient manner. Then we talked about different data structures like stacks, queues, and then binary trees, etc. And as we discussed earlier, that these data structures are of going to be used in different applications and in different situations, and each has their own importance. So in the today's class we are going to understand about the two primary data structures, which is a stack and a queue, and then we will understand their differences. So starting with the stack. So stack, as the name suggests, it's very similar to some stack of objects. So in this data structure, the basic operations that can be performed are pushing and popping. So pushing operation involves adding a data packet into the stack, while popping element removes the most recently inserted element into the data structure. Okay, so however, this stack data structure, there's a restriction. That is, we are the access is limited only to the topmost element of the structure. That is, suppose if you consider this as a side view of the books or the pile of books, and consider these numbers marked on each and every book. Now, the, like in a pile of book, when you want to add an element, add another book, you would always be adding it to the top of the stack. While if you want to remove any book from the pile, the first book you will be removing is from the top of the pile. The same thing happens in the stack. That is, the insertions and deletions can only be performed at the top of the list. So since your access to the books are limited only at the top, therefore you can only perform the insertions and deletion operations at the top of the stack. So as we discussed earlier, that the fundamental operations are pushing, which is equivalent to inserting the element into a data structure, then popping operation, which deletes the most recently inserted element, and then the top operation, which shows which data packet is at the top of the your data structure, the stack. Fine. So these are less flexible, of course, because like suppose arrays. In arrays we can have an access to each and every element of the data structure. We can directly access any element of the array, but which is not possible in stacks, right? So since as we said that the most recently inserted element in a data structure, that is being extracted at the very first when we perform the pop operation. That's why it is also known as last in first out data structure. Okay, so now talking about, okay, so these are the push and pop operations. You can see there's an empty stack like a container, then you push an element, so you, let's say A, and the top is maintained as A. Now you another push another element, say B, so now top has been shifted to B. Now if you say pop out any other element, if you want to perform a pop operation, so the element that gets popped out is a B, because which is the top, so that is been removed, and now you again top as A. Right, fine. So now talking about the queue data structure, this is very similar to a queue of customers waiting in front of a ticket window to get a ticket. And the basic operations in this queue data structure that can be performed are enqueuing, which is actually inserting a data element, and dequeuing is removing a data element, similar to push and pop correspondingly. So implementation we'll talk afterwards. Okay, so queue, as I mentioned, it's like very similar to customers standing in a checkout line, right, waiting for the tickets or waiting for any service. However, unlike stack, it works on the first in first out principle. The stack, the element which was most recently inserted is removed while performing a pop operation. However, in a queue, the element which is inserted at the earliest will be popped out when we perform the pop operation. The pop, as I said earlier, is similar to dequeuing, and enqueuing is similar to inserting the element. So in the queue, in order to get this operation done of first in first out, the insertion and deletion are done at the other ends, like here. So if we are inserting, keep on inserting elements from here, and we are removing the elements from here. So like if we insert the first element here, it gets shifted to here. As we keep on inserting elements, it reaches at this end. So when we are removing the elements from this end, this element will be the first one to be removed. Okay, so these are all about the data structure stacks and queues. The basic difference is that stack is a first in first out, sorry, list is a first, queue is a first in first out data structure, while a stack is last in first out. Next class we will further discuss about the implementation techniques. So any doubts about these, then please let me know. Thank you.